I believe we were going to do High Hopes as the starter. Is that correct?
Correct.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, so what Reverend Pam was alluding to is my grandson belongs to my daughter in Idaho, but when the shelter-in-place order came down, we brought him down here because my daughter, who lives here in the Santa Cruz Mountains, works from home. Her husband works from home. They can go 3 years without having to go out into the world, whereas my daughter in Idaho is a nurse and her husband's a vet, and consequently, they really can't avoid exposure. So we brought the baby down here. But it's pretty tough to go without your young child for a month, month and a half. And now that it's evident that we're really settling in for 18 months or 2 years of a new lifestyle, my daughter wants her son back. We don't blame her. Next time you're found with your chin on the ground, there's a lot to be learned. Just look around. Just what makes that little old ant think he'll move a rubber tree plant? Everyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant, but he's got high hopes. He's got high hopes. He's got high apple pie in the sky hopes. Anytime you're getting low, instead of letting go, just remember that ant. Oops, there goes another rubber tree plant. When troubles call and your back's to the wall, there's a lot to be learned. That wall could fall. Well, once there was a silly old ram. He thought he'd punch a hole in a dam. No one could make that ram scram. He kept butting that dam 'cause he had high hopes. He had high hopes. He had high apple pie in the sky hopes. Anytime you're feeling bad, instead of feeling sad, just remember that ram. Oops, there goes a million kilowatt dam. Well, a problem's a toy balloon and it'll be bursting soon. It's just bound to go pop. Whoops, there goes another problem. Well, oops, there goes another problem. Oops, there goes another problem. Curb pop. Curb pop. Thank you.
We're going to move right into the next one, which is another song that we can sing along as a community. Are you ready, Truck?
Yeah. I just had to unmute myself again. All right, you all know this, and but you don't know what verses we're going to do. But even though I can't hear you and you can't hear each other, please do sing along. And I'll call out the verses before we do. It's "We Shall Overcome," which that's the first verse. Good song for trying times. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I know that I do believe we shall overcome someday. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today. Oh, deep in my heart, I know that I do believe we shall overcome someday. Love will see us through. Love will see us through. Love will see us through. Love will see us through today. Oh, deep in my heart, I know that I do believe we shall overcome someday.
All right, thank you, Chuck. And that leads us into our meditation this morning. And our practitioner today is Brenda Haldoran, and she's joining us from her home in Carson City, and where she's told me she had a mile walk this morning, which is a big milestone for her. So welcome, Brenda.
Thank you. On the heels of that walk, it feels really great to sit here in community with all of you and rest. There is just one source of all that is, one intelligence, one love, one source of all the beauty, all the wisdom, all the joy. And I know that if there's only one thing happening here, then I am one with it. All beings, all creation are one with its creator. What a powerful understanding to know this in the depth of my soul, that the one source, the creator, God, is right where I am. I live and move and have my being in this one. So I can relax and let God be God in me, through me, as me. So recognizing this truth, I just let go and I allow whatever comes. I recognize that joining together in community today, the wisdom of this one comes through Rev Pam and her message. It comes through each one of us in community. It comes through the music and the gift that Tuck brings. It comes with the ability to see all of us together, even though we are geographically apart. And I am so grateful for this. My heart is wide open. My mind is alert and ready for the gifts that come, the wisdom that's shared. And I make it welcome. I make space. And so I release my word into the law, knowing that it always returns fulfilled. Together we say, and so it is. Today's reading this month's theme is Bright Beginnings, and today's topic is Fire in the Belly. And the reading comes from the 5 pillars of Islam. So we are in the month of Ramadan. There are 5 basic practices in Islam. These 5 pillars are bearing witness, prayer, fasting, charity, and pilgrimage. These religious disciplines are rooted in the teachings of the Quran and in the example of the Prophet Muhammad. You enter into Islam by reciting that there is no God but God. In addition, all Muslims are to pray 5 times a day, fast during Ramadan, give annual charity, and make the Hajj, or pilgrimage. The 4th pillar is fasting. During the lunar month of Ramadan, all Muslims who are able to do so fast every day from before dawn to sunset. During the day, we abstain from eating, drinking, smoking, having sex, and arguing and fighting. This is a demanding practice designed to help us to become more aware of the conflicting forces of our lower and higher natures. Our material nature constantly seeks material gratification from all of material creation. Our spiritual nature seeks only one thing, God. We often give in immediately to the demands of our bodies. Whenever we are hungry, we rush to grab some food. When we are thirsty, we find something to drink at once. By opposing the demands of the body during fasting, we strengthen our will. At a deeper level, we also remind ourselves that we have the capacity to ignore our inner demands for material gratification. It is both a pleasure and a duty to perform a practice that pleases God. For the Sufis, fasting is a spiritual discipline, a discipline of inner purification as well as outer asceticism. The Sufi sage Abu Hamid al-Ghazali described 3 levels of fasting. The fasting of the average Muslim involves refraining from satisfying the appetite of the stomach and the desire for sex. The fasting of the Sufi is to keep the ears, the eyes, the tongue, and the hands free from sin or harmful actions. The fasting of the saint is the fast of the heart, that is, to fast from all worldly concerns and to think only of God. I'd like to welcome Tuck back.
There we go. Well, he was 8 years old with a flour sack cape tied all around his neck. Climbed up on the old garage and figured, what the heck? Screwed his courage up so tight it almost came unwound. He took a running start, bless his heart, he headed for the ground. He's one of those that knows that life is just a leap of faith. So spread your arms and hold your breath and always trust your cape. Well, he's all grown up with a flour sack cape tied all around his dreams. He's got determination and he's busting at the seams. Well, he's licked his finger and checked the wind. It's gonna be do or die. But he wasn't scared of anything, cause he figured he'd just fly. He's one of those who knows that life is just a leap of faith. Spread your arms and hold your breath and always trust your cape. Now he's old and gray with a flour sack cape tied all around his head. And he's still jumping off the old garage Yes, he will be till he's dead. Well, all these years the neighbors said he's acting like a kid, but he never knew he couldn't fly, and that's just why he did. Yes, he's one of those that knows that life is just a leap of faith. So spread your arms and hold your breath, and always trust your cape. Yes, spread your arms and hold your breath, but always trust your cape. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. You know, when Chuck told me he was going to sing that song this morning, there's several reasons that it's a perfect song for this morning. And but one of them is that, you know, when you have that feeling of you can do anything and you're just part of spirit and you're alive, you believe you can fly, you can jump off the porch, and that, you know, that's the fire in the belly that we talk about. You know, there's something that's calling to us that we just have to do. And you know, when we're thinking about spirit, when it's something that spirit wants to do, spirit knows how. We don't have to worry about it. We just have to know what. And it all comes together magically somehow, it just seems like, for things to come together. And so I think moving through this, the COVID-19 emergency is moving us forward into something new. And so we're going to talk about that. And this is a new bright beginning. So let's start with our slides this morning for my talk. And so the theme, there we go. The theme for April is bright beginnings. This is the last Sunday in this series. And the message today is about fire in the belly. Next slide. Next slide. Okay. Okay. So the next slide. So I don't know what happened to our slide master, but anyway, so the talk today is about fire in the belly, and it's about let's see, I have it here. I can read it to you. So Ramadan is a time for reflection, revelation, revolution, and restoration, a rededication of one's life to spirit and recommitment to spiritual practice. We can turn the slides off, please, Joaquin. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Okay, more. Stop video. Okay, there we go. Okay, now so Ramadan, as we heard from Brenda's reading, is one of the 5 pillars of the Muslim faith. And so every year for 30 days, every Muslim that is physically able to do so is supposed to fast. They get up early before dawn and have breakfast, and then they don't eat again until after sunset. And so that's when in the winter, that's a little bit easier than when Ramadan falls in the summer, when it can be a very long day from dawn till sunset. But then at the end of the day, when they have their dinner feast, it's a community event with their family and their friends, and very high spirits time of community and togetherness. And so this year, Ramadan began on the evening of April 23rd, and it will end on evening of May 23rd. During the daytime, then, they were going to be refraining from eating or drinking anything and from sexual activity. Because this fasting and this disruptive sleep pattern lowers their energy levels, during this month, they spend less time doing the normal kind of work or schoolwork that we normally do, and more time on doing things like reading the Quran and other spiritual texts. And one of the favorite Sufi poets from the 13th century is Rumi. And from his book, The Essential Rumi, I have this poem. And so now we're back. Joaquin, I need this slide now. let's see. Well, we're not having the slides, so I guess I'm going to read it. There's hidden, oh, here we go. There we go. There's hidden sweetness in the stomach's emptiness. We are lutes, no more, no less. If the sound box is stuffed full of anything, no music. If the brain and the belly are burning clean with fasting, every moment a new song comes out of the fire. The fog clears and new energy makes you run up in the steps in front of you. Be emptier and cry like the reed instruments cry. Emptier. Write secrets with the reed pen. When you're full of food and drink, an ugly metal statue sits where your spirit should. When you fast, good habits gather like friends who want to help. Thank you, Joaquin. End of the slide. And so Rumi is talking about this experience when we fast, it brings this clarity and focus to our vision. And so we stop getting involved in the day-to-day busyness that things go on, and we have time to focus on the spiritual truth that underlies it all. So that is that God is all there is, right? Now, because Ramadan is normally celebrated as a community, they spend a lot of time also at the mosque praying and with their family and friends feasting. So this year, just like everyone else, they are staying home. And so they're needing to connect virtually, just like we are in their spiritual communities. Now in Islam, which is the name for their religion, it literally means submission, or submission to God, right? And that's why submission requires the Muslim to follow those 5 pillars of Islam. So bearing witness, which means saying there is no God but God, and Muhammad is God's messenger, means praying 5 times a day. This is like praying without ceasing, is the way we would talk about it, right? And then they have to donate the zakat, which is their annual alms tax. And there are certain percentages of their wealth that they're supposed to donate each year. A little bit like tithing, but different. They have to fast during Ramadan. This is an obligation. And then they also, at least once during their lifetime, make a visit to Mecca. Now, Islam is a religion of the books, just like Judaism and Christianity are. And 2/3 of the books in the Quran contain references to the Old and New Testament, and the same saints and people that we talk about in the Bible. Another thing that's important about Islam is that you can go through all of these rituals at the surface level, or you can get into the deeper meaning, the deeper intention. Now, for most Muslims, the fasting is just simply the physical act in obedience to the 5 pillars. But in Sufism, that's the mystical branch of Islam. And it also emphasizes love and that spiritual connection and oneness as a key part of their belief. And so they also strive to fast from angry words or harmful actions during Ramadan, and even really during the whole year. But they hold in high esteem these saints who are able to fast from all worldly concerns and think only of God. You know? So now, for many Muslims, then, if you're focusing on the physical part of it, fasting is a conflict between your ego and being devoted to God. You know, our body it's hungry, it wants to eat, right? And so, if that gnawing hunger that we can always have when we get hungry. And they're also, so when they make a decision to continue the fast during the day, you know, because only God's going to know. No one else is going to really know if they just snuck something, right? But they'll know, God will know. And so it's a decision to not be a slave to their habits or their ego. It's a decision that allows them to strengthen their will and their patience and encourages remembrance of God, right? That's what gets us through. You know, we talk about grace in Christianity, And this is where that Spirit of God, that strength of God helps us through whatever we're dealing with. And so through fasting, a person's openness to listening to God's will is awakened, much like Rumi was talking about, to that higher level of consciousness. Now, fasting is practiced in many different ways. On Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, Jews fast in preparation for the atonement, for the time before that. In the Baha'i faith, which builds on top of Islam, they use all of Muhammad and then more, their members fast annually to focus on the love of the Creator. There's many branches of Buddhism and Hinduism that practice fasting to focus and purify the mind. Now, a lot of Christians also practice limited fasting during Lent, the 40 days prior to Easter, which was just completed. And so they'll take one thing to focus on your devotion to God, and you're giving something up because you're doing it for the purpose of focusing your attention. Right? In science of mind, we don't, some centers like to practice Lent, but really what we do is we practice mindfulness in giving up self-damaging thoughts typically. You know, this allows us, when we give up those self-destructive thoughts, because we know thoughts become things, thoughts are creative, that it makes us a clean break from the past. And when we put in place the positive truth, the spiritual truth that is the divine truth about ourselves, then that creates a new beginning for ourselves and the life that we would like to aspire to, and the one really that God intended when we were created in the first place. This is our bright beginning. And so we talk about listening to God and asking the question, what is ours to do? Right? When we listen, God has an answer. So next slide, Joaquin. So there we go. So Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind textbook has a couple of, there's quite a few things. And so these are two that I thought were particularly appropriate for this morning. So one is, there is a place in us which lies open to the infinite. But when the Spirit brings its gift by pouring itself through us, it can give to us only what we take. All right? So it is full to overflowing coming from Spirit, but it's only what we take that we can receive. If we're ignoring Spirit, not listening, then it's just going to go right past us. But if we stop and listen, there's a great wealth of guidance and prosperity and life in all of its fullness waiting for us. Next slide. And so prayer then is not an act of overcoming God's reluctance, because it's always giving, but should be an active acceptance of its highest willingness. Through prayer, we recognize a spiritual law that has always existed and put ourselves in alignment with it. Okay? So we listen and align ourselves, and then things move forward in amazing ways. Thank you, Joaquin. And so, in other words, we are not beseeching God. Instead, we are listening to the voice of God within us and aligning our thoughts and our actions to discover our divine purpose. So what is our divine purpose? Begin with the notion that we are perfect emanations of the divine, co-creating with the divine to serve the divine's purpose. Right? The divine, the infinite one, expresses itself through us. Right? We are God's eyes, God's arms, God's hands, God's feet, God's voice, God's heart to love. Right? And so our purpose may be a lofty one. It might be transforming the world in great and mighty ways. And our purpose might also be something equally important, which is to simply remember God, to be present, to remember that we are an individualization of God. And it's those little acts of loving kindness, right? Of being peaceful, of being centered in peace, and all of the people around us being that kind of that weather vane that everyone else can tune into. Right? Through us, God loves and serves humankind with love and compassion. When our outer world and our connection with it is weakened by fasting, and we strengthen that connection to that inner vision, then the inner spiritual world and our focus on God becomes more vibrant. Our openness to listening to God's will for us is awakened. And so the fire in the belly, that passion that really gets us going, is transformed from that ache of hunger in the belly to a passion to live our lives in service to God and our spiritual purpose. And so once we listen to Spirit and discover our divine purpose at this moment, we do our affirmative prayer work. We say a spiritual mind treatment is our scientific way of prayer in Science of Mind. And we then set in motion everything that's needed to manifest that purpose and make it a reality. It's amazing the power of our belief in that passion. That's what gives it its power, right? The fire in the belly. And so next slide. Sonia Choquette is a writer that's written about soul lessons and soul purpose. And one of the quotes from her book is, "There is no limit to what you can create as long as you can visualize it. Do not concern yourself with how the desired creation will come about." Sometimes we think of, we're called to do something. There's this fire in the belly. This really needs to get done. And it adds that power of emotion. But, we get scared away because how could this possibly happen? How could we possibly do this? But God knows, right? And so when we believe in Spirit, when we believe in that guidance, when we believe that we are part of the one and that it's not just us, but all of Spirit that is creating this, then that is what brings it about. And that passion is what gives spiritual mind treatment its power. Thank you, Joaquin. And so what is the purpose of our center here, the Center for Spiritual Living, Tahoe-Truckee? Now, I was reading a Christian minister's blog this week online, Kari Wolfhoff, I guess. Anyway, he believes that the rapid pace of adapting to the online world through this coronavirus pandemic is one of the best things that's ever happened to churches. Right? The world is changing rapidly, and now the churches have had to change just as rapidly to serve their congregation, who are now staying at home rather than congregating in the churches, in those church buildings every Sunday. Right? Some are complaining and resisting, but there are many centers like ours that are adapting. This is the new normal. And so churches in general, including the CSLs, some of them are finding that they're actually serving a high percentage of their congregants than they were in the past, or it's different people. But also centers need to remember, just like our center, that a high percentage of our congregants are older and more at risk if they do contract the coronavirus, or their families are. And therefore, we may be some of the very last institutions to go back to meeting every Sunday, once a week, right? And Newhoff says that may be a good thing. Wow. So, and he goes further and says that the churches and the ministers that see all of this online activity as temporary, and they're so anxious to get back to that normal with those Sundays in the sanctuary, that we would squander the opportunity to integrate our online activities, which we're getting better and better at each week, to becoming a fundamental part of our growing overall program. And so that physical center will become not just the only place we meet, but just the central hub of all of these things that are happening in the center and online and reaching out into the community. We are providing social connection in new ways that combat the isolation that when we stay at home, right? And by moving online and embracing the social media, we are not only serving our current congregation, but we are beginning to reach an even greater population of younger people. This is a destination community, so people here want to be outdoors on Sunday morning. There's so many wonderful things to do in Tahoe, whether it's skiing in the winter or hiking in the summer or being out on your boat. And so maybe they want to watch a recording, or maybe they want to come to something at a different time. There's so many different ways to serve. And so when we've been having our staff meetings this week, there's everybody, some people are sitting back and relaxing and reading. Well, our staff is doing just the opposite. We're very busy. And so we've been talking about, well, the practitioners have been involved with our daily meditations, which are a wonderful thing that's happening on 8:30 every morning. And it's such a fantastic way to start your day in a positive, uplifted manner and be peaceful and calm to go through the day rather than anxious about whatever's going on. And that ripples out to all the people that we meet with, and the practitioners are doing a fabulous job. The readings they've selected in their meditations are really amazing, right? I mean, they're such one of the treasures in our community, each one of them, right? And then also we've been, Rick and Joaquin have been helping us as we've been recording these Sunday meditations and the daily meditations, and they're getting published now onto YouTube. We figured out how to do that this week. And so they're now posted on the Facebook and on YouTube and on our website, I believe. And so you can look at them after the fact, right? So if you miss Sunday morning, you can go back and listen to it and click on it. So you won't get the whole service, but you're at least going to hear me and hopefully the practitioners reading. And then Linda and Joaquin, we met this week, and we've been talking about upgrading our website, and that's our face to the world now. And so they've got some great ideas about really making it come alive, right? And the constant contact, Linda's been perfecting that for quite a while now, and it's full of activities that are so exciting. Yes, we're all clapping for that. Thank you, Linda. And but so we are a vibrant center, and so we need to get the word out to people about this. And we've got so many things going on, different types of activities with classes and paid classes and meditations and Sunday service, that we have Zoom traffic jams. We have to make sure that we're not scheduling on top of each other, right? We've started talking about creating a weekly children's program, and so they're part of our community too. We even get to see more of them on Sunday morning than we did on the days, because it's real easy for parents to stop and take care of their child and come right back. So it's and we enjoy seeing them. We've also been doing some work on improving our online music ministry. And we've had some successes and some things not so much a success, but our musicians, just like us, are learning to navigate performing online instead of just live and in person. And that's part of their future as well. The bars are not going to be open anytime soon. So that's how the musicians are able to share their gift with the world. And you can probably hear from the fire in my belly as I talk about this and all these expanded opportunities that, to me, this is what is coming up as I've been listening to Spirit, and as we all have participated in this. And so our center, we are sharing this divine wisdom and making it available to people that they can put it to practice in their lives and experience the wonderful life that God intended for us. And so, and create a loving and caring spiritual community for us and a center for that in the world. Now, when we are able to get back to our wonderful building, and it is truly wonderful, it is a blessing. It's going to be our base of operations then, to reach out into our community and beyond. We have the funds now from the insurance settlement from the flood that occurred, and so when we can open up, the first people in there are going to be the contractor to come in and fix everything up. So it'll be our kitchen and hospitality, and the children's room will be all ready to go. But we're listening to Spirit's guidance. And I am so grateful for how our congregation has been adapting to our online programs. So we've had some older members that, they're less familiar with the computer or the cell phone and technology. they just kind of avoided it. Oh, this is too hard. And, maybe a grandchild would help them out now and then. But when we take the time to walk with them and walk through, they're being adventuresome. I think that's a quality of people that live at Lake Tahoe. They're adventuresome and resilient. And so they've been able to figure it out, and they get online, right? But it also that also means that it's a time to connect with them, and so that they know that they're an important and valued part of our community. That one-on-one connection is still important, and we're all getting better at it. Just because it's not perfect, we keep trying and we get better. Right? Now I know that some people have had to cut back on their donations to the center, but other people have just continued to honor their pledges, and some have even stepped up to keep us going through this process. And so it's an exciting time, and I'm so grateful to be here serving the presence of God in the midst of our community. And I feel that presence every day, because it is truly the heart of our community, right? And so now this comes back to that cape that Tuck was talking about. And so before I have my closing treatment, I want to share with you this new video that came out, and it's called Superhero. It's by Empty Hands Music, and which means that that is a group that is Nemo Patel and Daniel Namad. They've done quite a few wonderful videos. But in the end, it comes down to each one of us listening to Spirit within us and following our divine purpose. And so each of us is a unique and individualized expression of Spirit. Together, we can create a world that works for everyone. Each of us is a superhero in our own way. So this new video touched my heart. There is joy and love to be found in our world every day, even in the midst of the COVID-19 emergency. Joaquin?
I always wanted a red cape on my back. I always wanted to be the best in my pack. I always wanted to be known to be good, to be the hero of my own hood. If I could just fly, I could save everyone. Stop all the wars so nobody's gotta run. All the killing, all the crimes, pain and suffering. It's getting tougher to be buffered from it all. Are we gonna make it through? Is he gonna fly back in? Cause if he don't come right now, I don't think good will win. Time is running out. Do we wanna wait for him? Or is it our time now to bring the good back in?
We don't have to leap tall buildings.
In a single bound,
There's a lot of good that we can do.
standing on the ground,
We don't need a jetpack suit.
to take us to the clouds.
It's up to me and you. Right here, right now. Superhero. Na 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 na. The superhero. Whoa, 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 whoa. Superhero. Na 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 na. The superhero. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
The world is full of so much pain, and though I can't fly, I can do my little part here before I die, yeah. I may not win the Nobel Prize, but at least I can try to be a little more kind, spend a little more time in my changed life, yeah. Like giving a hug when somebody is down, and feeding a soul when there's nobody around it. Small things that can change the sound, and the vibe of the spirit that can change the town. And started small, now it's touched a crowd. The crowd is growing, now the word is out that if we all do our parts, we can touch the clouds with mass, we can touch the clouds. Yep.
We don't have to leap tall buildings.
In a single bound.
There's a lot of good that we can do.
Standing on the ground.
We don't need a jetpack suit.
Take us to the clouds.
It's up to me and you. Right here, right now. Superhero. Na 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 na. Superhero. Oh, 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 oh. Superhero. Na 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 na. Superhero. Oh, 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 oh.
It's the smallest things that make a difference, and all the power's locked within us. All we gotta do is find the key and turn the latch and set it free, yeah. We don't need to be fast and strong, cause a kind word can go a long way. Help someone whose faith is gone to get back up and carry on. Maybe it's too hard to understand, think it's too much for us to handle, but I promise you that you can, cause you don't need to be a Superman.
We don't have to leap tall buildings.
In a single bound.
There's a lot of good that we can do.
Standing on the ground.
We don't need a jetpack suit.
To take us to the clouds.
It's up to me and you.
Right here, right now.
You're a superhero.
Feeding the soul when there's nobody around.
Superhero.
In the vibe of the spirit that can change a town.
Superhero.
The crowd is growing, now the word is out that if we all do our parts, we can catch the clouds. Without a cape and a mask, we can touch the clouds. Yep.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing. And so, you know, when we see something like that, each of us has our own gift in our own special way. You know, I mean, I see some things in the chat that people have been sharing about what they're doing or their family is doing, and so it's amazing the difference, you know, and this is what is wonderful about Americans and people worldwide. You know, we can come together. We're going to get through this together. And there, you know, some people that don't necessarily believe that, but this is really what's going to happen. This is spirit popping out all over through each one of us as we are called to do that. So let's take all of this to prayer. All right. So that feeling of love that we cannot suppress. When we let go, when we fast from all of the thoughts of all of the things that are wrong and working against us, we let go. We fast in our minds and our hearts and our bodies, and that fire in the belly comes forward. And it is spirit there, the one life that has created all of us as a part of itself. It is the one that cares about each and every person, each and every blade of grass, each and every rock, the depths of the ocean to the tops of the mountains. They're all part of God. And so in this time of Ramadan, as we are reminded to listen to spirit within us, we listen. We find that divine purpose. It calls to us as fire in our belly. And each one of us is that unique and individualized expression of spirit. Together, we create a world that works for everyone. Infinite God is letting every one of us know that we are whole. In the wonderful meditation that Brenda led us in this morning, the loving kindness, we ask that each person in the world experience that loving kindness of love and peace and ease and happiness. This is the truth of life itself. This is the truth of our being. The power of love rules the universe. And so we allow that love and well-being to be revealed in our own lives and ripple out into the world through our community, spiritual community. We see that divine presence popping up everywhere, like the spring flowers that pop up above the ground, sharing their beautiful colors with the world. It's just like the leaves are preparing to leaf out in the next few weeks. Wholeness is the truth of who we are, the world, and all of its creatures who live on this planet, including us. So I am knowing that the presence of God is more powerful than anything. We are listening to the voice of God at the center of our being. We remember the power and presence of God in all things. And so with calm assurance, I release all fear that God is not enough, that I am not enough to serve God as I am called to do. I am willing. I am fully supported in every way. I say yes to my divine purpose, to the calling that is creating the fire in my belly. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for clear vision, for hope, for love and joy that fill my days, for these dear friends gathered here today, for peace that calms my heart. I know that I am forever in the presence of God. All is well. And together we say, and so it is. All right. So there's a lot of exciting things going on, and this morning we're moving into the announcements, but we're going to also try having a prayer wall this morning. So if you are called that there's something that you would like to a short prayer for, a 1-minute miracle, we're going to use the power of Zoom's breakout rooms. Try this in a new way. And so if you, we're going to set, in a breakout room, we're going to set it up that anyone that would like a prayer, they will be matched up in a private breakout room one-on-one with one of our practitioners. And so if you would like to participate in that, what I want you to do is, you can let us know in one of several ways. One is you can click on where it says Manage Participants. And then when you go over there, you'll find something that gives you an option to say Raise Hand. Click on that button, and you'll see a little blue glove come up next to your name, which means you've got your hand raised and we know that you want to participate. And if you don't want to, then you can click on lower hand, but we'll do that. If we have to do more than one round, we'll do that also. Another way you can do it is if you can't quite figure that part out, you can add in the chat what the you can type in the chat that you would like to participate, and we'll see that way. Joaquin's going to be matching everybody up, so we're going to give him a few minutes to do that while we go through the announcements. And then there's the old-fashioned way that if you can't get any of that stuff to work, just raise your hand and we'll get to you. So, but now also, while Joaquin's working on that, is the time of moving into our off time up for our offering and pledges. And so in our slide, the CSL Tahoe-Truckee community relies on your community contributions to continue spreading our positive messages during the positive time. And so we are I know some people can't continue to give, but we are grateful for those that you can, and you're finding new creative ways to send in your gifts, including mailing us checks. That's still the best way, because we don't pay a service charge for that, but PayPal also works, and you can go onto our www.tahoecsl.org website, use PayPal or your credit card or debit card, and you can find directions on that. So, but right now, let's join together and take your offering as you would hold it, and repeat with me. I gratefully and joyfully share my offering, which flows from God, my infinite source. My gift blesses this center and all who are guided, healed, and empowered by its activities. All I share with life returns to me blessed and multiplied. And we have our offertory song today, which is God is my source. We have that slide, Joaquin, while we've got the sound. So. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's see.
Bear with me here real quick. I think I'm learning something.
You've all been there. Hi, Jovi. Hi, Jovi.
So let's see what we could. Gosh, it just doesn't want to play when I have this slide up.
Okay, well, let's just play the music. I think we know the words.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I don't hear it.
You don't hear it, huh?
Here we go.
God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks.
Okay. And so as we bring together all of these blessings, we are grateful for that infinite love of God, our source, that is that supply. And we know that that supply is from Spirit, from the infinite. And whatever needs to happen for that to connect with us in reliable ways, in new ways, it is that love of God. It is that creative force of God that is supporting each one of us financially and with love and with peace and whatever we require. Creativity is moving forward and out. Love and light are present here in this moment. And we are grateful for this bounty. We are grateful to be able to share it and be part of that law of circulation, giving and receiving. Thank you, Father, Mother, God. We bless these offerings as they support this center and all that we do for the world. And so it is. Amen. Okay. So if you are a first-time visitor, I want to welcome you all. And we had somebody visiting here from Ireland, it looks like this morning. So that was pretty exciting. And so you can fill out on our website, you can fill out a form to get our constant contact newsletter each week. So if you want to participate, and we're also in the process of, as I said, of updating that website. So you get to see more things on there you could be able to click on and find in the future. And also you're going to find on the Facebook and the website and in the email that you'll find the links to the YouTube videos of our service from today. That should, I think it's going up this afternoon is the plan. Okay. And the daily meditations are also uploaded to the Facebook page and YouTube every day. Thank you, Rick. And but our office is still closed. So, but you can still call us or email us if you need to leave us a message. And so we have our slides for the announcements, Joaquin?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So this is the daily meditation, Monday through Saturday at 8:30. And you'll, in our newsletter, which you can find on by clicking on it on news on Facebook, or you'll find the link for our daily meditations. It's an inspiring way to begin your day. And next slide. So starting this week, it got delayed by a week, the start. So it's going to be starting this Friday, so May 1st. So if you have one more week to sign up. So we have a good group of people that have already signed up, but we would love to have you join us. And this is a 6-week class taught by Donna Axton, who is one of our religious science practitioners. And she's the musician over at St. Patrick's Episcopal. So that's why she's not here this morning, but she is here in spirit, and she's left us a video.
Hi, I'm Donna Axton, and I'd like to invite you to join the class I'm going to start teaching this Friday, the 24th. It'll be from 10:30 to 12:30 on the next 6 Fridays, and we'll be discussing this very wonderful book. It's called How to Become Naturally Therapeutic, or Becoming Naturally Therapeutic, A Return to the True Essence of Helping. It's a wonderful book by Jacqueline Small. We'll do some very practical exercises in it, and we'll have fun learning about this book. Hope to see you there.
So that class, and this is something that's applicable about the gifts of listening, and in a way that we can help people. Not, it's great if you're a practitioner, but also anyone who is in our family or our friends. And this is a difficult time, so a lot of people need somebody to listen, and you may be that person that can give them that gift. So this is a great class to join. And Donna is she teaches psychology at the Sierra Nevada College. She's a marriage and family therapist, so she's just the perfect person to be teaching this class. All right. Let's see, we have our ongoing events that are on Zoom, and these are all led by volunteers in our center, and we are so gifted. So on Thursdays, there is the meditation by Mary McEnany and Penny Scholler that they lead at 5 o'clock, and you need to contact Mary to get that link, and you can find that in Constant Contact. This Friday, the class that Sue Pipel leads is on A Course of Love, which is a wonderful discussion. And then A Course in Miracles is every Saturday with Ned Diantios on Course in Miracles, and they really get into this amazing book. And somewhere you're going to find one that really resonates with you. So this is a great place to be. Next slide. And then the CSL Cozy Couch series is continuing. And so we have there's 3 more this weekend. So the Friday and Saturday, they've already passed, but tonight is Amy Bishop, and she is fabulous. And so I really encourage you to get, the link is on in our Constant Contact, but you can also just go to Facebook and Google Amy Bishop. You will find her webpage, her Facebook page, and you can connect that way. So the Cozy Concert Series. But she's an amazing musician. Just I love her. She's got a wide-ranging repertoire, and you will not be sorry that you took the time to tune in. It's about 40 minutes to an hour of music, so it's a great time. And I think there's going to be more in May, so we'll be sending that out in Constant Contact. Watch for it next week. Next slide. And so now we're coming to our closing song, and there's lots going on with you, but before we sing our song, The Face of God, I want to encourage you to invite your family and friends to join us. on our Sunday services or the daily meditation or whatever you would see. I know that Brenda's sister is called in from Alaska. My sister-in-law, Maureen, has been calling in from West Sacramento. It's really nice to be able to spend time with her. And so, and then also, if you need just that one-on-one time, because we all needed it sometime, please call me or one of our practitioners for prayer support or just to listen. And so you can call the center and get the phone numbers for whoever you would like to speak to. And do try and come to that 9:25 meditation on Sunday mornings or every morning during the week. So we're getting ready for the prayer wall. So make sure you raise your hand or indicate it on chat if you want to participate. And we're going to move now into our closing song. So, Joaquin?
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
All right. It is good to see all of your faces, the face of God in each one of you. And so let's join together for our closing affirmation. We need that slide. Okay. So if you would, we can say this together. I listen to the voice of God within and renew my life's purpose each and every day. I allow the fire in my belly to guide and empower what's mine to do. And so it is. All right, thank you all. All right, let's unmute everyone for our hospitality time.
Thank
All
you so
right.
much.
Yes, here we are, we're on.
Are we on?
Yes.
We're all on.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Good to see you. Hi.
Yes.
Good to see all your faces.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So,
Hey,
all right,
Ned.
yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Hi, Toby.
La, 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 la.
Okay. Are we getting the
Yep.
getting the Zoom ready to go or the
Yep.
rooms? Yep. All right.
Breakout room.
Hey, Shirley and Karen lost the Zoom connection, so Shirley is on here audio only.
Oh,
Hi,
okay.
Shirley.
Hi, Shirley.
Hi.
Hi, Shirley. Did you want to go in a breakout room?
I can go in a breakout room if somebody wants prayer. No problem.
All right.
Oh, this is Shirley Clark. Okay.
I just
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
So you're the let's see,
I'm the
5601,
916.
Shirley?
5601, that's right.
Okay.
What is it? Which one is Shirley?
She is the
916.
662 5601.
Cool. All right, I'm assigning you, Shirley.
Say that again, Joaquin.
I'm assigning you.
All
Okay.
right. Okay. And the rest of us can all stay on and have our hospitality time. So.
Bye, Toby.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah, you guys
Bye,
too.
everybody.
Likewise, bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tuck.
Thank you,
Bye,
Tuck.
Tuck. Great
Good to see
music
all
this
these
morning.
faces. Glad
Yeah.
everybody's
Good
doing
job.
Oh, and I
Great
like your
selection.
stay home sign.
Sounded great.
it. See ya.
Stay home.
Hey, Joaquin, did you put Shirley in a room by herself?
I thought
No, she went with Shirley Clark.
I thought I joined
Yeah.
her with somebody.
Yeah, she's with Shirley Clark.
So Shirley Nelson and Shirley Clark are in a breakout room.
Are they?
Okay.
No, Kimberly and Shirley Clark.
Oh, Kimberly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So confused.
Okay.
It's definitely a process, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
So we've got
you
it
know,
set up for the sessions to be about 5 minutes between a practitioner and someone who wants a prayer request. So it's pretty amazing, you know, when you go into this private little room, it's just the two of you, and it's
Just that they don't want to do it. I've had it.
yeah,
Thank
it works really well. Yeah. So what are people doing this afternoon to enjoy this sunshine?
Fixing my sprinkler system.
That's a good idea.
Same here.
Got the backyard done yesterday, and we just have to finish the front yard and the drip systems. And it's a big job because it's huge. It's just, you know, yeah.
You have
My husband's an amazing, you know, fix-it man, so he's really got it figured out. Thank goodness.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So we're going to another party.
Oh, you are?
Yes, our friends in Cupertino and Santa Cruz and somewhere else, I don't know where. It's a family thing, and they're inviting us. They invited us on Easter. We had an Easter hat thing. We had to have goofy hats. Something to talk about. And then today it's just a opening of our spring deck or patio to be outside doing stuff.
Yeah.
And then we just talk like we are now. It's kind of fun.
It is.
So we had an interesting experience the other night. We got invaded by a giant flock of sheep.
Whoa.
The shepherds bring the sheep to the hills around here to keep the cheatgrass down for fire suppression. But something happened with it. The shepherd lost his flock. And that flock came through our neighborhood. It was just astonishing. And Dawn went out there and took video, and it was on the Channel 4 News and all of that. It was amazing to see that happening. But I guess the shepherd got his flock back together, and all is well.
It was great.
Was it bad?
Yes, Rick.
Couldn't resist.
Well,
Oh, there we go. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
All right. I'm going to dash off. I spent all day on Zoom yesterday. So
Yeah.
please forgive.
Oh, yeah.
You have her number?
Have a lovely day.
Bye-bye now.
Your retreat went well though, right?
Oh, very well. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like the last hurrah for Santa Rosa. Yeah.
Oh,
All right. Thanks. Take care. Bye.
Take care. Thank you, Rick.
that's wrong.
Well, I'm going to sign off as well. Everyone have a lovely day.
You too.
Bye,
Thank you
everyone.
for your wonderful meditation this morning, Brenda. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Inspiring.
For me too. Love you all. Bye.
Love you, Brenda. That was wonderful.
Bye.
Bye.
See you tomorrow at 8:30.
Oh, is that what we're waiting for?
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Great. Bye.
Bye.
I finally got back on just to say goodbye.
Good.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna stay on because I think that Joaquin is not. It looks like he's departed. And
No, he's working on something for me.
He's working on something for Shirley.
oh, is he in the breakout room?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
with Shirley.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because oh, I see. That's what it is. Okay. All right. So
We were struggling.
okay.
And that works okay with somebody who's on the phone and not in person, or just in person?
I think so. I think so.
It
It's
was not
easier
working.
when you're in person, when you can see the person. But it should be. I think I've had people in breakout rooms that were just on the phone before. So we'll see. So. Shirley, did you get it to work? You're muted, Shirley. Okay.
Let's see.
There we go.
There you go. Did you guys work it out? Did it work?
No, it didn't work, and I sent Joaquin a text.
Yeah.
And he was going to give me the person's phone number, but I haven't received that text.
Oh, it was Shirley Nelson.
No, he gave me a
No,
different.
Kimberly.
No, oh yeah, Kimberly. Okay.
I wanted to hook Kimberly up with Shirley.
Oh, okay, got it. Oh, you were the one on the
Give
phone.
me your number.
I'm gonna do that right now.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just give her a ring.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I have her contact information. So let me.
Here it comes right here. Up. Thought I had it. That is a different link. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was coming, but something happened.
Okay.
Okay, I got it.